The Medicare Access and CHIP Reauthorization Act of 2015, otherwise known as MACRA, was signed into law April 16, 2015. This new rule created sweeping changes to the Medicare physician payment system by repealing the sustainable growth rate and creating two new payment tracks. The two payment tracks created by MACRA are the Merit-Based Incentive Payment System, or MIPS, and the Alternative Payment Models, or APMs. MIPS and APMs are scheduled to go into effect January 1, 2019. The reporting period for 2019 is currently proposed to start January 1, 2017. The reporting period for 2019 is currently proposed to start January 1, 2017. This means that all practices will need to be ready to report through either MIPS or APMs starting January 1, 2017. To allow members more time to learn and adapt their practice patterns to MIPS and APM reporting, the Academy is actively advocating for a reporting period that starts July 1, 2017. The post-SGR payment policy involves payment updates as well as payment incentives and adjustment factors. The payment updates from the repeal of the SGR up until 2019 stabilized at a 0.5% annual update. Then from 2020 until 2025, there will be no payment update. Starting in 2026, the payment update will be 0.25% per year for the MIPS participants and 0.75% per year for those participating in alternative payment programs. The impact of these updates on certain specialties, including otolaryngology, head and neck surgery, may vary each year. For the payment incentives and adjustment factors, the MIPS-eligible clinicians will qualify for either a positive, negative, or neutral adjustment factor that starts in 2019. In 2019, the adjustment factor range will be from a -4% to a +4%. That factor range will increase each year until 2022, when the range will cap at -9% to +9%. The adjustment factor for MIPS will end in 2026. MIPS-eligible clinicians will also be able to qualify for an additional incentive payment adjustment of up to 10% from 2019 to 2024. Qualified participants in the Medicare APM program will qualify for a 5% annual incentive from 2019 to 2024. Clinicians will receive either a positive or negative adjustment factor based on how the composite performance score the clinician receives for the reporting period compares to the mean composite performance scores received by all MIPS-eligible clinicians for that reporting period. The MIPS composite performance score, which will be used to measure eligible clinicians, will incorporate 4 distinct categories: quality, advancing care information, or ACI, clinical practice improvement activities, or CPIA, and resource use. The weights assigned to each of these 4 main components of the composite performance score will be adjusted each year as MIPS is implemented and refined. The weights for the first year are quality at 50% of the score, ACI at 25% of the score, CPIA of 15% of the score, and resource use at 10% of the score. When talking about the quality portion of the MIPS system, 50% of that first year score will be related to quality. It replaces the Physician Quality Reporting System, or PQRS, and the quality component of the value-based modifier. Under MIPS quality reporting in 2017, CMS has proposed to require physicians to report 6 measures that best reflect their practice. Of these 6 measures, 1 must be an outcome measure or a high priority measure, and 1 must be a cross-cutting measure. In the future, Academy members participating in Regent, our clinical data registry, will be able to report through Regent for the quality component of the MIPS composite performance score. To assist members in dealing with the MIPS system, the Academy has created Regent, an otolaryngology-specific clinical data registry. In anticipation of payment policy changes, the Foundation began building Regent in 2015. In March of 2015, the boards of directors voted to fund the clinical data registry. The board of directors charged the registry task force, chaired by Lisa E. Ishii, MD, to create a business plan and select a model and vendor for the registry. The boards ratified the selection of FIG MD as the vendor partner, and the final contract between the Academy and FIG was executed. The boards then ratified the selection of FIG MD as the vendor partner, and the final contract between the Foundation and FIG MD was executed. The Foundation was able to secure both qualified clinical data registry and PQRS qualified registry status from CMS for Regent by 2016. Regent has since concluded the pilot period, and registration is currently open to all Academy members. Regent will become the foundation for defining quality, quality improvement, clinical and product research, and support for maintenance of certification and licensure. Initially, Regent will focus on quality reporting and will evolve over time into much more. Our model will allow us input from the otolaryngology specialty societies as we expand the registry to encompass the breadth of the specialty. In addition to the quality component, the Advancing Care Information, or ACI, represents 25% of the total score in year one. This replaces the Medicare Electronic Health Record Incentive Program for clinicians, previously known as Meaningful Use. However, unlike Meaningful Use, this program is not based on all or none scoring. The MIPS Advancing Care Information component allows eligible clinicians to receive partial score. This is accomplished through a two-part scoring system, a base score and a performance score. Eligible clinicians will be able to choose from multiple paths to reach the full score for the ACI portion of MIPS, and if they do not reach the maximum score, then their overall score in MIPS declines proportionally. In the future, Academy members participating in Regent will be able to report through Regent for the ACI information. Clinical practice improvement activities will take up 15% of the total score in year one. CPA allows clinicians to select from a list of more than 90 activities to receive credit for this category. ECs will be able to report for CPIA through a qualified registry, an EHR system, a QCDR such as Regent, the CMS web interface, and also with attestation data submission. Clinicians may also receive credit for participating in eligible APMs and in patient-centered medical homes. Resource use will account for 10% of the total score in year one. This replaces the cost component of the value-based modifier program. The score will be based on Medicare claims, meaning that no direct reporting is required for clinicians. There is concern that physicians' resource use scores will be determined by potentially unreliable episode-based measures that have never been used for payment purposes. The Academy has recommended that CMS conduct additional analyses before utilizing these measures to calculate resource use under MIPS. In looking at the post-SGR world, the Academy has been very aggressive in advocating for the members. We have a history of working very closely with regulatory agencies such as CMS and the FDA to maintain our visibility and credibility with national representatives regarding federal regulatory issues. We believe that advocacy is the key to defining the future of otolaryngology. Federal regulatory advocacy is a top priority of the AAO-HNS. With that in mind, the Academy advocated on members' behalf to ensure that our members are able to comply with MIPS and receive proper reimbursement through the following advocacy vehicles: comment letters, in which the Academy submitted letters to CMS regarding MIPS, the Quality Measure Development Plan, the proposed episode groups, and the MIPS and APM proposed rule. In addition to the comment letters, the Academy works collaboratively to produce letters relating to potential rules with other medical societies. We also attend and participate in coalition meetings regarding these issues. The alternative payment models are a form of payment reform that are designed to incorporate quality and total cost of care into reimbursement rather than a traditional fee-for-service structure. Eligible clinicians, or ECs, that participate in a CMS-defined advanced APM may be exempted from the Merit-Based Incentive Payment System, or MIPS, program. All qualified participants in the APM program will receive a 5% payment incentive from 2019 to 2024. These payments will be based on claims reported during the reporting periods, which occur from 2017 to 2022. To be considered exempt from MIPS through the APM Medicare program, a physician must be a qualifying APM participant. A qualifying participant will need to meet the minimum percentage of patients or payments through an advanced APM. For the years 2019 to 20, 25% of either patients or payments must be through an APM. From 2021 to 2022, 50% of patients or payments must meet that criteria. And after 2023, 75% of patients or payments must be through an advanced APM. The APM program does create the following distinctions between different APMs. In order for an APM to qualify as an advanced APM, it needs to meet all of the following criteria. It requires participants to use certified EHR technology, and base payments provided for covered medical services must be based on quality measures that are comparable to the MIPS quality performance category measures, or be either in an expanded medical home model or bear more than a nominal amount of risk for monetary losses. Some eligible clinicians may receive bonus points and alternative scoring criteria for the MIPS program by participating in a MIPS alternative payment model. MIPS APMs are either advanced APMs in instances where the EC participates in but does not meet the minimum percentage of patients or payments through that APM to qualify as a qualifying APM participant, or APMs that do not qualify as advanced APMs but fall into one of the following categories. CMMI models under Section 1015A, Medicare Shared Savings Programs, demonstrations under the Health Care Quality Demonstration Program, or demonstrations as required by federal law. The term alternative payment model can be attributed to any payment model used by a payer that includes positive or negative payment adjustments that are determined by a physician's performance on quality measures across an episode of care, an episode group, a patient group, or the physician's entire patient population. Unfortunately, current APM requirements, as outlined in the proposed rule, would only allow a very small group of physicians, primary care providers most likely, to be held exempt from MIPS reporting by meeting the minimum percentage of patients or payments through an advanced APM. The Academy is actively advocating on members' behalf to work with CMS to expand this definition to be closer in line with the intent of the law. We are using comment letters, sign-on letters, and coalition meetings to accomplish this. The Academy is actively working with other societies to work to ensure that the highest number of physicians are allowed the choice of whether or not to participate in an APM. We are working with the American College of Surgeons to assist physicians looking to report through an advanced APM. The Academy is participating in an ACS episode grouper project, a collaborative effort led by the American College of Surgeons to build APM solutions for surgical care consistent with expectations of surgeons and patients. We're also working through PTAC, the Physician-Focused Payment Model Technical Advisory Committee, which was created by MACRA in 2015 to submit recommendations for physician-focused payment models to the Secretary, the Department of HHS, to support its APM efforts. The Department of HHS has launched the Healthcare Payment Learning and Action Network, or HC plan, to help advance the work being done across sectors to increase adoption of value-based payments and alternative payment models. Today, otolaryngologists are subject to multiple quality reporting initiatives that affect their bottom line. Through the EHR Meaningful Use Incentive Program, the PQRS Incentive Program, and the Value-Based Modifier, physicians may be subjected to payment reductions in 2017 if they have not participated in these programs. To successfully report for PQRS in 2016 and avoid the negative 2% penalty in 2018, eligible physicians must report 9 measures across 3 national quality strategy domains, including 1 cross-cutting measure. Please visit the Regent website to learn how to use the Regent registry to complete your 2016 reporting requirements. Contact Academy staff to learn about other options for PQRS reporting if your practice does not use an electronic health record. For national private payer issues, the Academy staff collaborate with Academy committees to review and address key private payer issues affecting members. Over the past year, the Academy has reviewed and provided comments on 14 private payer draft policies. These policies were related to sinus surgery, imaging, implantable hearing devices, myringotomy and tympanostomy tube insertion, site of service guidelines, and new prior authorization requirements. These policy reviews often lead to revisions to the policy that empower the otolaryngologist, head and neck surgeons to continue to provide the highest quality of patient care while following the policy requirements maintained by the national private payers. The 3P Advisory Committee is the main arm of the Academy that accomplishes these private payer policy discussions and revisions.